All right, I am standing in our new investment property. We just closed on this house about a week ago, or a couple days ago actually, not even a week ago yet. And we're planning on turning this into a short-term rental. And so I'm going to walk you guys through the process of what this looked like, finding the property, what our plans are for it. I'm gonna give you a video in just a second showing you what it currently looks like in its current state, and then hopefully one when it's fully furnished, up and running, and let you guys know, is it worth it? How much time and headache does it actually entail? And just kind of go from there and show you if it's a valuable business that you might want to get into yourself. So here's a quick video of what the property currently looks like, and I'll give some voiceover to let you know why we chose this specific property. We were initially looking for a cheaper house that we could spend some money to renovate and turn it into an Airbnb style property. The reason we were going that route is because I didn't want a property that had an HOA. Our real estate agent, who's super knowledgeable in short-term rentals because he owns one and he's helped tons of people buy them, his name is Nick Palladino. I'll leave his link in the description below. You guys can check out his Instagram account. But he'd recommended, don't buy anything that has an HOA, because an HOA can change the rules at any time and ban your short-term rental, and then you're left with few options other than to turn it into a long-term rental. So when you're looking at places with no HOA, it almost rules out all new communities. You're only pretty much going to be looking at older communities to find something with no HOA. So after looking for a while, we found a place, we put in an offer on it. It needed some good renovations to it. Someone else came in with a cash offer. They chose that offer instead. And so we kept looking, and then we found this house that I'm standing in right now. It was a little bit higher price point than we were initially wanting to go to, but it had just been completely remodeled, head to toe, everything from the floorings to the ceilings to the yard, all the light fixtures, wiring, all of that had been completely redone. And it already kind of had an Airbnb type vibe to it, we could tell from the photos. And we're like, this would only need furniture, like almost nothing else needs to be done to this property. It's a very turnkey property if we're able to get it at a decent price. And so, long story short, we came here, we looked at it, it was even better in person than the pictures that we had seen. And we decided this would be a great thing to move forward with. And we found out the people that were remodeling this were actually planning on turning it into an Airbnb. That's why they remodeled it the way they did. And that's why we could tell it looks so much like an Airbnb. But they had a hard money loan on this. They needed to pay this off. They already had 10 other short-term rentals and they were wanting to go on to something else. And so they chose not to continue with this. They'd rather just cash out after flipping it, basically, because this place was a dump before. I've seen some photos of it. And that left a great opportunity for us to come in and get something that was set up well for an Airbnb. We didn't have to do any major modifications to, and we can turn it into a short-term rental. So this is a small house, but it still somehow has 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, which is what I love for Airbnb, because Airbnb really just needs beds. The rooms don't need to be substantial in size, as long as you have a place to sleep, a place to put your luggage. You don't need tons of drawers and everything all around, because it's like a hotel. You're going there to sleep, and most of the time is going to be spent either in the living areas or outside of the home, wherever you're traveling to. And so it was a perfect combination of the size of the house to fit that many people, and then 5 bedrooms, which allows you to charge a much higher nightly rate. And it had a pool in the backyard, which has been completely redone, new pebble tech, the deck has been resurfaced, new tile, new pool equipment, new hose, new vacuum, everything about the pool has been completely changed, new light fixture. So that pool needed very little, actually needs no maintenance whatsoever, versus just the standard chlorine and stuff like that. We don't have to modify anything with it, which substantially lowers the cost that we're going to have to put into this house. Most of the places we looked at that had a pool needed a lot of it redone, and that becomes really costly really fast. So this had an awesome pool that has some great citrus trees that had a lot of fruit on it when we first got here. We picked a lot of that since then, so it's not showing much right now. But everything overall just appealed to us for this property for an Airbnb. We just met with our interior designer yesterday. She's going to be going through and helping us choose the items that fit our budget to actually furnish this entire place and make it very Airbnb friendly. She's been working actually at Airbnb. She was a part of their Airbnb Plus program, and so she helped people that had Airbnbs convert them into higher end properties to be able to be qualified for Airbnb Plus. And so she was an interior designer actually for the company of Airbnb. and now she's doing it herself. So she has tons of experience on what works and what doesn't work in Airbnbs, and a great eye for detail. And so we'll be using her to fill this thing out over the next 3, 4, hopefully not but 5 weeks or so. Maybe 30 days is my timeline I'd like to get this up and running by. Yeah, so as this moves along, I'll take more photos, I'll take more videos, I'll take you guys along with the process. And ultimately, the big thing is show you how much money does it actually make. For Arizona, the slow time is anywhere from, we're entering the slow time, April to August is gonna be your slower months for Arizona because it gets so hot here. It's super hot in the summer. Those are gonna be the lowest months. The winter are the highest grossing months, normally doubling, if not tripling the lowest months, because everyone comes to Arizona in the winter because it's super nice weather. It's 70 degrees every day and sunny. You can use a pool even in the winter and stuff like that. And so everyone comes here as a destination in the winter. So I'm expecting it to be slower the very first few months, which is fine because we're just getting used to this. We're gonna be figuring out how to clean it and flip it and everything else like that. We'll eventually outsource a lot of that and hire a cleaning company. But initially, at least for the first month or two, we're gonna be doing all of that ourselves just to get an idea for what it entails, what's working, what's not working, to have our hands and eyes on it as much as possible. And then slowly we'll start outsourcing some of those things so it doesn't take as much time from us. This is here in Mesa, Arizona. I don't think I even said that yet. It's about 30 minutes from our current house, so it's not crazy far to drive here when we need to.